What's up, guys, and welcome to the new LFR guide. This is the third part of the LFR, and this one is called Halls of Flesh Shaping. During this one, well, I guess I should probably introduce Aki again. Aki, you're with us.
I am here.
This one, what three bosses do we have, Aki?
We have Durumu, the big eyeball, Primordius, the weird-looking monster slug, and Dark Animus, the robotic bloodlubber.
Or douche.
Or douche.
So let's get right into it, because there's three bosses, a lot of stuff to cover here. First off, let's go over the trash. Trash leading up to Durumu really isn't bad. It's the fog light guys. You do need to kill them, and then he will suck a couple guys into like an eye in purple goo. You just need to burn that eye down. If everybody just jumps in there and kills it, it goes pretty quick. There will be 4 big ads around the room, and you need to kill those guys as well. And then they each spawn 2 little guys, and you need to kill those, and then the boss will come out. Aki, what's the rest of the trash look like between, what, Durumu and Primordius?
Durumu and Primordius, there's a lot of, like, between Durumu and Primordius, there's lots of little blood along the ground. You just kind of pick them up and AoE them down. It's nothing really too
right, and
major.
That's more of a gauntlet as well, right? Like,
yeah, they keep spawning, so you're just gonna have to keep moving as a group and sort of keep AoEing them down as you go until you've killed them all. So. Yeah. That's not really that difficult at all, to be honest. And then well, from Primordius to Dark Animus, there's like 2 dudes by the door, and
the Thunder Stompers, and then there's those guys who do a ton of damage.
A ton of damage, yeah. I'm not even going to try to explain how to do that, because I really don't even know how we do it on normal. I know there's some range ones that attack range people. I don't know. I just stand where I'm told to stand.
The ones on the right, the ones with like red glowy hands, are the range guys. So you want to stack on those. Like you want to have one tank grab the other 3 and move them over to the left side of the room. Have everyone else stack on the right side of the room. And you just burn the range guys down first, and then you just move over and burn the other guys down.
Oh, well, that's how you do it.
That's the easiest way to do it.
Today I learned.
Today I learned. Well, guys, this guide's brought to you by so Durumu, the big eyeball.
Big
cool
eyeball.
Fight. Love this fight.
Love it.
In LFR, I hate this fight. The reason I hate this fight is because no matter what you do, Death Beam will make your life living hell, because no LFR person can understand the concept of don't stand in things for longer than 5 seconds. It's amazing how just completely derp this went. We literally, I think in the video that you'll be watching during this, I think we might have gotten a 5-stack of the boss.
Wow.
Yeah, and literally there was like 7 of us alive when we killed it. Like we were so far ahead of the berserk timer because of everyone else before they died to Death Beam, because they all died every single time. That it was so good. It's so good. But yeah, guys, the biggest thing in this fight is there's a thing called Force of Will, who put a little triangle on the ground. In LFR, this will not knock you off the edge, so you can really just stand in it. It will do damage to you. It's not significant. It's practically a worthless mechanic in LFR. Then he will do his blue, yellow, red phase. And what you need to do is, this is actually different than normal mode. It took us a couple attempts to figure this out. Is one of each ad you need to kill. So it doesn't matter which color beam you get, you just run around the room like a mad person until you locate your ad. Once the ad is up, you need to burn that ad down of all 3 colors, and then that ends the kind of the fog phase, if I could name it the phase.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to describe it. Fog phase.
The multicolored fog phase. But you really need to get those ads down quickly, because the quicker you can get those down, the less damage is going out. The healers can conserve their mana, and then you get more DPS time on the boss. Keep in mind you can DPS the boss during this time, but you really need to get those ads down. Those are going to be the number 1 priority. You then move into, a few seconds later, you'll move into the Death Beam phase. This is a maze, sort of. The easiest way to do this is have a competent ranged DPS, or melee DPS, but you're going to want to go ranged in LFR, is have a mark on their head. When it hits Death Beam phase, have everybody go stack on that person, and then follow him, and I mean be on him. You'll figure out how the maze works eventually, but you really need to start on the outer edge of the room, and then you just go in a circle clockwise. If the beam gets to you, it will one-shot you in LFR. Trust me, I've seen it.
You've done it, you mean.
I've done it. Like today in normal, I blinked into it, which did not work well for me. It will kill you. But you just pretty much run around the circle, staying out of the poo on the floor. It will open up eventually as the beam gets around the room. It will open up quadrants that you can run through. So make sure that you're running through those quadrants so you're not taking damage, because the damage will kill you. It just will. And then it's rinse and repeat after that. But,
yeah.
Yeah. So.
But then it's like he doesn't really have that much health, though, if I remember correctly.
No, he doesn't. No.
If you got some good DPS, you can just burn through them.
Yeah, if you can pretty much, guys, if you can get through one maze phase without completely losing 90% of your raid, you're gonna be fine. It's just he doesn't have enough health to really make it an issue. I think that's part of the reason that they did it, is because they couldn't really take the maze phase out of it from normal or heroic. But they had to do something to keep it in, so I think they just nerfed his health to the point where it's like, okay, if you can get through one of these, that's all we expect you to do. So try to do that as best you can. It's going to be tricky, guys. You're going to have a lot of people die. If you can do this with friends the first couple of weeks it's out, I recommend you do that, because the more people who know what they're doing, the better. It's really an LFR killer of a fight. I don't know how else to explain it. It will literally ruin your day in LFR and that fight. It really will. But anyway, that's the first boss, so that's good.
So once you get past that, it gets
once you get past that, though, it's king. It really is too. Just Primordius, and Primordius is quite possibly one of my favorite fights. Especially in LFR, it's just so good in LFR. Because you are just a truck the entire time. Aki, go ahead and explain kind of Primordius, because it works the same way. It's just, and I'll explain the differences between that and LFR.
Yeah, so it's basically, like, Primordius is pretty straightforward. I mean, it's not a very hard boss to sort of understand. There's sort of some major components to it. So you're going to have these little bloods traveling across the floor, and their goal is to try and reach Primordius to give him an energy resource, and then every time he reaches a certain amount of energy resource, he levels up an ability, so he'll do more damage to you, right? But you can kill them before they reach them, and then they leave behind like a little puddle, and you can step in that puddle to get a damage or stats increase boost to you for, what is it, like for 2 minutes or something? The buff lasts? Yeah. And then once you get 5 of these what's called good mutations, you'll become fully transformed, and you'll just be able to rip a ton of DPS into the boss. So the idea is to try and kill 5 of those ads, get 5 good mutations, and then just tunnel the boss and put all your damage into him for 2 minutes, and then when your buff runs out, do the same thing. Go back and kill the ads, get your buffs again, and then tunnel into the boss again. Really fun fight.
Yeah. Now guys, the reason that you want to kill the ads at first, and you might just say, well, why can't we just nuke him in LFR? Well, the reason is because if you're not fully mutated, the boss takes 75, I think it's 75% less damage? Yeah. So you're really not doing anything to the boss. And this fight is awesome. The main difference in LFR is the pools. There's 2 kinds of pools. There's red pools, purple pools. Okay? Purple pools are bad. Stay out of purple pools. Red pools, however, are the best.
They're what you want.
Yeah, you want the red pool. So when you stand in one, you'll get a stack of, like Aki was saying. But the nice thing is in LFR they have a ton of charges per pool. Like in normal mode, I think they have 2 charges per pool.
Yeah, it's like 2 or 3.
2 or 3 charges per pool. But in LFR they have way more than that. So once you become fully mutated, you get on the boss, that's when you want to pop all your cooldowns, your heroism, everything. You just want to nuke the hell out of the boss once you're fully mutated. The really great part about the LFR version of this fight is with all those ads having so much little health, those little ads, having so much less health, and they leave more charges in their puddles. As soon as you're unmutated, you can go around, and within 20 seconds, you're back to full mutated, and you're just trucking again. And I mean, it is just insane damage. It's just really good. It's just so good. The biggest thing, though, is tanks. You need to understand that you do need to kind of slowly kite the boss in a circle around the room, because those purple pools will try to reach the boss, and if they reach him, they will heal him. So that is something the tanks do need to watch out for, is, like I said, slowly kite him around the room. Healers, there are quite a few, and healers, if you want to go ahead and get some stats, go ahead. You don't need to fully mutate, there's no reason for you to do so, but you can grab some of the red pools to get some stats up, like because it can give you all stats, haste, crit. It's random what it gives you, but it'll probably help you, I would assume. I mean, having more stats is always good. So pick those up if you want, because there's going to be plenty on the ground. But that's the biggest thing, guys, is make sure you're starting on the ads. Like, don't even worry about the boss when he spawns. Like, just start killing ads, get mutated, then start just ripping DPS. Once you are fully mutated again, leave the little ads alone. You don't care about them. You're mutated, your job, kill the boss.
Yeah, really fun fight overall. I mean, you get those buffs going, and you get good ones that are good for your class, and man, just with some big numbers.
2 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, man, I had I was up to like 76% crit. Like,
wow.
And as a fire mage, like I couldn't stop pyroblasting. Like,
I can't help it.
Like, I'm spamming my favorite button. It's the best thing ever.
Nice.
It was so good. But yeah, guys, it's one of those fights that it's just really fun. Blizzard did an excellent job, and for LFR, it really captures the fight. But it's a great kind of intro to the fight, as well as it's a ton of fun in LFR. It's actually probably the best fight in LFR to do. So if you can suffer through Durumu, there is a prize at the end. There is light at the end of the tunnel.
Well, that's what it was like for normal too. Like it was trying to get through Durumu, and you got to do the maze and everything. It was really hard at first, and then you get to like Primordius after Durumu, just like, we just two-shot this guy. That was pretty easy.
That's all you got to do, right?
Yeah. That's like, I mean, that's kind of test to Blizzard of the way that they've structured the whole, Throne of Thunder. It's just so beautifully done, where you get some challenge, and then you get kind of like a rest on the next boss, where it's not quite as difficult as the other ones, so really well done.
And the last fight, guys, this LFR piece is going to be Dark Animus. And this fight in LFR is harder than it is in normal mode. And the reason? LFR. We tried to do this fight using a normal mode strategy for 2 attempts. It did not work. People did not understand the concept at all of what we were trying to teach them. So what we decided to do was we said, well, here's a bright idea. Let's see if we just stack everybody up and just nuke all the little ads if it'll work. And it did. So literally, if you stand everybody on top of Dark Animus, okay, he's the big guy in the back, go put a marker down. Whoever's in charge, go stack right on him, and then start the fight. And all these little, flames will come out. They'll activate the little animuses, and then you just want to,
nuke them all down.
Yeah. Well, and then you just literally, you nuke them all down, and then the middle ads will come. You nuke them all down, then the big ads will come. This is where you need to start marking them. Just mark one with a skull. Just try to focus your DPS on one of them down, and then as soon as Dark Animus becomes available, what we did is we just had one tank whatever big ad was left away from the boss, and then we all just nuked the boss and we killed him. It wasn't pretty, but he died, and it seemed to work that way. And honestly, guys, I don't know if this is intended in LFR. There's been a ton of complaining on the forums about this fight in LFR, but that's how we did it. We killed it, and I did a real pug for this. Like, I suffered through a real damn pug for this video, so I will appreciate the pain that I had to go through to get this footage, but it worked. And I don't know, guys, if that's the real strategy, if that's how you're supposed to do it, but if you have a couple of really good DPS, I think you can, especially AoE DPS. The biggest thing to watch out for is, what is that, Matter Swap?
Matter Swap, yeah.
Yeah, that one, healers, hopefully if you're slow on your dispels, that's actually perfect for this fight.
Yeah.
How it works
in your favor.
Yeah, if you're a lazy dispeller, perfect. Like, if you see that guy turn purple, just wait 4 or 5 seconds, cast a couple more spells, then dispel. The reason being is you have 10 stacks when you start. One person has 10, one person has 1, and they slowly kind of go towards each other and meet in the middle. If you dispel them instantly, they both take a ton of damage. If you dispel them about halfway through, they hardly take any damage. If you spell them at the end, they take more damage. So it's kind of like a pendulum. You want to meet in the middle. But other than that, it's pretty much just stack up, GG.
Stack up and blow them up, pop everything you've got for AoE, and...
Yeah, and that's literally, I don't know how we killed it that way, but it died, so I'm not complaining. Yeah.
I guess if that's not the way it's meant to be done and Blizzard change it, we'll update you again in a further guide or in one of the other guides, and we'll let you know that this is the way you should do it now.
Yeah, and I can't
but
imagine.
For now, just stack them up.
Yeah, I mean, for now, if it works, it works. So I mean, try it out, see if it works for you, and hopefully you guys will get your loot. And this is again another boss that drops tier. You get your chest piece off of this guy.
Yeah.
So that's always good. You get some tier pieces, some really good trinkets dropping those guys. Just an overall good little segment. So we'll have one more segment coming. I believe it comes out next week.
Is it? Yeah, I think next week.
Yeah, so we'll try to get that video out to you again, hopefully the weekend after it comes out, due to our raid schedule. Try to get that up before Aki goes on holiday. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching, and as always, we'll see you later.
See you later.